One of the most integral parts of Dragon Ball and something that shaped the series are its transformations. We've gotten so many thematic, amazing forms, like the Super Saiyan transformation for Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan when he fought Cell. In this video, I'm gonna list off my top 5 transformations in Dragon Ball. This list is gonna be based off thematic storytelling, cultural impact, and just how cool the transformation is overall. Now before we get started, there are a few rules and omissions that I'm gonna be placing here. First of all, they have to be real transformations. Nothing like Kaioken or the numerous graded Super Saiyan transformations. I'm talking about the ones that changed the series as we know it today. So now that we're done with the preamble, let's get started with number 5. Trunks. Now I know when it comes to Trunks, he has 2 different interpretations when it comes to his Super Saiyan transformation. In the manga, he had already achieved it before Gohan died. In fact, during the finale of the chapter, he doesn't even go Super Saiyan. It's just an outburst of anger. The anime adaptation took the scene to a whole new level. Not only do we have more time with the pair, fleshing out their brotherly bond and relationship, but they also turned his training into a slow burn situation, learning patience and being guided by Gohan. By the end, when it all comes tumbling down, there's a payoff, albeit a sad one. When Trunks transforms, it's not powerful or triumphant, it's actually just depressing and tragic. Gohan knows he could die, and he doesn't want Trunks being there with him when everything transpires. So the fact that he wakes up and has to see his master's corpse sunken into the puddle of rain makes this scene so much harder to watch. Trunks eventually endures though, avenging his master and seeing him become the most powerful Saiyan amongst the Z-Fighters. Sorry I had to start the list off in a depressing manner, but this transformation was so impactful for me. Anyway, let's move on to number 4. Dragon Ball Super was a hard sell for me when it first started. I didn't enjoy much of the first few arcs. Battle of the Gods was okay, and Goku Black felt like a retread of all the things that we've seen prior, especially in Z. We needed a new, real pivot in the series. Something impactful like a Super Saiyan. Something that would be immortalized and stick in the minds of fans forever. But what could they do? We already had Super Saiyan God and the Blue transformation. Back in 2017, a new form was teased by Toei, and the only information given during this time was Goku during the Tournament of Power. But something we all noticed was his hair standing tall, so of course, we knew it was a new form. Eventually 2018 came around and fans eagerly waited, anticipating what the transformation was. And voila, we are now introduced to Ultra Instinct. But it would have 2 iterations, Ultra Instinct Sign and Ultra Instinct Omen. This form is extremely hyped to this day. Not only because of its presentation, but its theming and what it represents for Goku as a character. It embodies the effort and years of his evolution, since the humble beginnings of Dragon Ball, and now we reach his climactic character arc. When we finally get to this form, we go, okay, this is it. This is what Goku's finally been working to achieve his entire life. It all leads up to this. The calmness, the stoic nature, the oneness that he becomes with himself. This is the form that fully encompasses that. The next form I'll be discussing for number 3 is the direct antithesis of this form, and it's just as important to pop culture. "20 years ago, if you were to ask me what my favorite Dragon Ball form is, chances are I'd tell you it's the Super Saiyan 4. It's iconic down to its design and being the purest nature of a Saiyan. Earlier, I mentioned how Ultra Instinct was the form that displayed the culmination of Goku's efforts as a fighter and learner. Super Saiyan 4 is the complete opposite. It's the embodiment of his Saiyan nature and the growing acceptance of it. Ever since the beginning of the series, Goku battled with his disdain for the Saiyan heritage, since it was directly correlated to the ruthlessness that he witnessed with Nappa, Vegeta, and his brother Raditz. As the series goes on, he becomes increasingly more comfortable with his desire for battle. This all comes full circle during his Super Saiyan 4 transformation. He doesn't hold back. He's ruthless, he's prideful, and he wields the strength of a full-blooded Saiyan while still being pure-hearted in nature. During his fight with Baby, the roles are reversed, and Baby becomes the very thing that he believed Saiyans to be, monkeys hell-bent on destruction. Goku contradicts that ideology by flipping it back on Baby, a Saiyan fighting back for the freedom of his home planet. Super Saiyan 4 is great, and there's a reason why they keep adding these monkeys to every single game. I didn't talk much about Daima here, and that's because I think Daima's a bit different when it comes to its theming and execution. But let's move on to number 2. Gohan's a special character, and Toriyama knew this. He tried to swap out Goku out of the main character slot for 3 arcs straight, and the fans weren't having it. So for number 2, I chose one particular form that stuck out for over 30 years, and it's his Super Saiyan 2 transformation. It's no doubt that Gohan changed Dragon Ball forever with this scene. After this, we started getting your Super Saiyan 3s, your 4s, and everything that Super introduced. But it isn't just the influence of this transformation that makes it iconic, it's the execution of it. Gohan was foreshadowed to be the strongest Z fighter since the beginning, with various fights with Raditz, the Ginyu Force, and Frieza. When we get to the Cell arc, his potential is unveiled, and we finally see what Toriyama was cooking up the entire time. Power unlike anything we had ever seen in the series up until that point. It's incredible, seeing Gohan finally reach his peak like we all expected him to. It was cathartic to say the least. They tried to recreate the magic with this transformation so many times after this, but it just never hits the highs of the Super Saiyan 2. Even with how amazing this form is though, there can only be one, and I'm sure you all know what it is. The holy grail of anime transformations, the one that inspired all who came after. I talked about the Super Saiyan numerous times on this channel, and its influence speaks for itself. But just for the people in the back who don't know, the theming is what stands out the most to me, not its influence. When talking about Goku as a character, there's a specific term I like to use known as nature versus nurture. From the very first battle with Vegeta, this concept was explored through their rivalry, and expanded upon more in the Frieza arcs and even Buu. Vegeta is the necessary foil to Goku because he represents his Saiyan nature, the complete opposite of Goku's origins, being raised as an Earthling, representing nurture and what he's learned during his time on Earth. Fast forward to the Namek arc, and the Super Saiyan is so powerful because of what Goku decides to accept and lean into, his Saiyan nature, the very thing he tried to reject because of his run-in with the Saiyans previously. He further acknowledges this by doubling down and calling himself a Super Saiyan, very explicitly. It's easy to neglect this fact because we grew up as kids already knowing what a Super Saiyan was, but back during serialization, this was a new concept for Toriyama, and ironically enough, him being quote-unquote the pure-hearted Saiyan to fight back against tyranny was very intentional. It's Goku coming to grips with his reality, being born from a race with bloodthirsty warriors and still managing to reconcile it along with his life experience. It's genius storytelling on display here. The theming comes full circle in the Buu arc when both Goku and Vegeta manifest from each other what the other half was lacking. Goku accepting his Saiyan nature, and Vegeta growing into his earthly role, accepting his nurture. Super Saiyan is the catalyst for this growth, and it's why it's the best form in the entire series. Well, that's my picks. Let me know if you liked anything I had to say, and if you want more top 5 Dragon Ball videos, suggest more in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.